Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. This is our Sisters GSoC 2016 demo for Mobile Application Control Center, and Maida is going to give us a presentation demo. Maida, go ahead.
Okay. Hello everybody, I am Medha Chakravartula and I have worked on the Mobile App Control Center as a part of Google Summer of Code 2016 with the Anita Borg Institute. This is going to be the outline of the presentation, starting with the introduction, then the project background, followed by this summer's goals and accomplishments, project demo, a few challenges I have faced, future development and acknowledgements. Introduction of myself. I am Medha, pursuing my senior year of college for the degree Bachelor's of Technology in Computer Science from Hyderabad, India. I enjoy learning about new technology, and GSoC has been the best platform so far for me to learn by doing. My mentoring organization this year was Sisters, an Anita Borg Institute community, and my project involved working with Peace Corps to add new features to the existing Mobile App Control Center application. The project started in 2014 as an initiative to let the Peace Corps headquarters send latest news or information to their respective mobile applications, Malaria and PeaceTrack. Malaria mobile applications have a page for InfoHub to which the posts from MACC will be sent and displayed. I have made a few changes to the code and it's now in full working condition. My team members were, my mentors were Angel, Neetu, and Irish, and I'm the student. Since I was mostly into mobile app development, my project being a web application, I got to learn many new technologies and it was a lot of fun. We used Django, a Python-based web framework.
Into mobile app development. My project being a web application,
Hello?
I got to learn many new technologies and it was a lot of fun. We used Django, a Python-based web.
Can you hear me? I'm able to hear my own voice.
Yes, go ahead. I muted everyone. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, we use Django, a Python-based web framework for the backend. Django makes it easy for the developers to build websites without much hassle. We used PostgreSQL as the database, which was a little different from the MySQL that I used before. PostgreSQL was preferred over SQLite database, which is inbuilt in Django, because the project has different restrictions for users and admins, which isn't possible to integrate with SQLite. In order to communicate with the mobile applications, we use the Django REST framework to build a REST API that makes necessary calls with the mobile apps when an update happens. The API documentation is updated and available on the GitHub repository. For front end, we used HTML5, CSS3, and for responsiveness, we have used Bootstrap. These are the tasks that I had. The main tasks were to remove the PeaceTrack application from MACC. The second was to store registered patients' data from the malaria mobile applications. And the third was to add Peace Corps sexual assault application to MACC, which was the major task of all. The idea was to make the entire PCSA application dynamic so that any changes made from MACC could be reflected in the mobile apps. Due to lack of proper communication among us and the Peace Corps, I could not complete the entire work, but I'm halfway there. Apart from these, I solved a few issues from last year and also did some unit testing for the application. Now I will give you a demo of the project. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay. So this is the start page. Yeah, we sign up here with a username. Oops. Okay, that's what happens when you already signed in. Let's take a different name. Okay, it sends a verification email to the email, but let's go to the dashboard. Yeah, this is the mobile app control center dashboard. We have the malaria application from last year, and this year I have added the PCSA application. Before we get there, I have changed the Peace Corps logo this year, and if you go to the profile, this is how the profile is displayed. There are options to edit your profile and update it, and you can also change your password. Yeah. So if we go into the PCSA application, these are the 5 categories that are present on the mobile application of the Peace Corps. For now, I have implemented Get Help Now and Safety Tools completely. The support services, sexual assault awareness and policies and groceries is yet to do. So if we go into the Get Help Now, in Get Help Now of the mobile application, we have different posts and different contacts. So if you have to edit, add, or delete any post from here, I have added a few dummy posts. You can view the post, you can edit anything in the post. Yeah, you can go back to your post list. If you this is a test post that I have created a few minutes ago. If you want to delete a post, you can just say delete. Yeah, and the same goes with the contacts too. And if we go into the second category, safety tools, in safety tools, in the mobile application, there are 6 subcategories. So I have given one posts box to each. If you want to add a post in this safety tools, you need to mention the category ID. I'm going to add post with when you submit it and go back to the post list, the post gets added in the first category posts. So I haven't added all of this yet. So yeah, once these posts are posted, as I mentioned before, we use the Django REST framework to create a REST API, which gives URLs, and the mobile applications make post requests from the URLs. Not every user can access this API, so I will log out and log in as admin. Yeah, so these are the URLs. This is the URL for Get Help Now posts, and this is the URL for malaria users. So yeah, in Get Help Now, this is how we see the posts, and the mobile app developers can request for the JSON format of them. About the malaria users, this year we have added a new feature that which says that all the users using malaria application on both the iOS and the Android platforms, the database will be stored on MACC. So I will be getting requests from the mobile apps and they get added directly. This is a test entry that I have made. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go back to the dashboard. So the challenges. From this year's GSoC, I have learned two most important things for a software engineer: communication and confirming the requirements. I first implemented the PCSA application exactly like the malaria application that has the info hub, but very lately found out from the Peace Corps that they wanted to integrate the entire PCSA application and not just the info hub. This was a challenge since only 2 weeks were left for the final evaluation. I managed to complete half of the work now, but I will be contributing further after GSoC and finish the task soon. Another challenge was to keep in touch with the mobile app developers and find out about the updates of their work on the integration. Future development. Uh, Future development could be to complete the integration of the entire PCSA application with MACC. I have opened a few issues on GitHub that could be solved, and more testing could be done to make the application better. I have also worked with mentors and students from other applications to help and integrate with their mobile apps. I could also talk to Miss Rose and Maybelline by setting up meetings when I had any trouble. I thank both of you for helping me whenever needed. I will be working with Miss Julia Prof to add my code onto the server running online. So I couldn't be more satisfied with this year's Summer of Code with Sisters. My project was amazing and the learning was a lot of fun. It was great working with my mentors Angel, Neetu, and Irish, and I learned a lot from them in these 4 months. Thank you, mentors, and I really hope to get along well with the Sisters community in future and contribute more than just code to the great organization. Thank you. Any questions?
Wow, Maida, that was great. Thank you so much for the incredible work. You did a great job.
Thank you.
I have just a couple of questions. One UI question. When you went to the PCSA, those long boxes, couldn't we make smaller buttons so that the text was a little bit, couldn't these squeeze like the length of the PCSA Info Hub text at the top?
Sure, that could be done.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit more cleaner too. And then what if they didn't know the category ID?
That.
Yeah, so what if, could that possibly be like a Dropbox, maybe?
Yeah.
So that way and with the text, the actual text of the category ID, so that would be probably better for even the Peace Corps administrators too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is great, and thanks so much for talking about your challenges. That's really important, communication. How was working with Natu as well as Angel, since they were so off your time zones?
Yeah, it was great, and I really couldn't be more thankful about me having these mentors. Every time it was great. I think I learned so much. So thank you, mentors.
And what kind of tools did how did you all manage the time zone?
We used to set up meetings every week, me and Angel, and whenever Neetu could find time. Yeah, Irish used to help me with all the doubts I had with Django while I was learning.
Did Slack help you a lot? Did Slack help any? Just kind of collaborating with the others, or?
I was in touch with all the mobile developers just on Slack, so yeah, it really helped.
Good. This is our first time implementing Slack, and I know that within my organization, it's been super helpful, just kind of connecting and creating these different channels so that we can talk about certain projects and things. So I know I'm glad it's helping. Good. Well, Netu or Angel, do you have anything that you want to add or any questions?
Yes. You want to go ahead, Angel?
Nikki, you can go ahead.
Okay. I had one question for Medha, and then I have some input and pointers for Rose and how we can improve. One question for Medha was, Medha, if there is currently an existing page on the web app, can the user update that page?
I don't understand the question.
Let's say the PCSA app has already a page for help. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, can a user go in the PC app web server where you said where you were adding new pages?
Mm-hmm.
Can the user update an existing page?
The user from the mobile application, you mean?
Yes, from the mobile application. So I'm assuming, there'll be synced up pages, like for example, help page, right? It will have some content on app web server, and it will have the same content on the application which will be shown, right?
Yes.
Now, can the Mac user, can the PCSA user update it there, and can we see that update? And then can we make an
No,
update over it, or it's a one-way
no.
communication from the app web
Yes.
server to, okay.
Yes, that's
Um,
because the PCSA mobile application is going to be with all the volunteers,
mhm.
and the Mac works from the Peace Corps headquarters, so it's a one-way communication.
So
Okay.
I think also, Maida, we haven't gotten to the part where when the administrator and they would go on to the Mac side and update or either add information that actually wants to be pushed. It's like a push notification to the mobile app so that the next time the user, the Peace Corps volunteer with the mobile application itself, when it is connected to the internet, then it automatically, you know how these apps always update, they have
Yes.
a release, then that will add all of that data or that content would also be updated. And I don't think we've gotten to that point yet to have those push type of notifications or updates. I think that's
Um,
the challenging piece.
yeah. No, we thought about this actually. We thought once anybody from the headquarters updates a post,
Mm-hmm.
automatically when there is Wi-Fi connected to the mobile applications, it
Mm-hmm.
will update itself because every
Okay.
time, yeah.
Yes, and there was some talk about maintaining versions, right?
Mm.
Maintaining versions.
Oh, right, right.
Versions.
Yes, maintaining versions for the posts.
Like, yes. So, like for example, there is a help page. A user comes in and then adds more information to that help page. That should become a version 2. And then later on when they come, they should modify version 2, not the version 1, because that's already outdated, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we should document all this. I understand you didn't have time, and there was very less time to, work out through the details and all that. What I'm coming to is, let's try to document these um, these decisions or these brainstorming sessions we have done to help out in the later.
Yes, I will do that.
Okay, cool. And Rose, I had that input that I'll be frank. At least for the first month or so, I was traveling, so I wasn't involved. I just got involved actually when the issue of miscommunication arose about the mentoring and all that. One of the things that I have noticed is in integration projects, communication is um, often where we lack. Means it's not anybody's fault. It's just the nature of integration projects. When there are two people involved, my suggestion is to have each of them as a stakeholder. Like in this case, PCSA Android app developers and iOS developers had no stake in this project. So they were concentrating on their project, which is good, but they did not know that they also have to play a part in this project. or if they have to play a part, what exactly is the part? So if before GSoC we can identify the integration projects and add in all of the projects involved the task list that, for example, in this case, it could have been like app web server should be tested on Android app, PCSA Android app, and they will also have this task in their to-do list.
Yeah, thank you for that, Nitu.
And
We
that
actually
way they,
talked about creating a small snippet of videos like May did earlier for all of the mentor orientation and the student orientation, but also doing a project orientation for each one and mentioning that as well. And she's been working really closely in strengthening our relationship with Peace Corps. They're the main stakeholder as well, and then just understanding, bringing them on board and understanding how all of these pieces fit together. So not necessarily because they are actually working in silos on their side as well. So making sure that they understand all of the projects and which ones are actually coming together, because that's a total key piece when you're doing integration. So we have certainly been talking about that, and that's really great feedback, and I'll definitely pass that on to May.
yeah. What I mean, yeah, the only thing I wanted to add was like once we have that in their to-do list, then that will show as, done or incomplete and all in there also. So they will also feel the responsibility and the ownership of it. So, the communication will not be driven by one-sided. Like here in this case, it was Medha trying to contact them that we need to make these changes and all that. So in that case, the communication will be two ways. They will also ask, what exactly do we need to do? By when do we need to do, and all that.
And the other point is that when you have an integration project, the primary mentors would come on and understand what all the pieces are, and then that would be
Yes.
part of the requirements when we're defining those requirements early on. So I
Yes.
think what May has been planning is to really start early and getting the mentors on board earlier so that they can actually work together in mapping out what those requirements are together on each one of those projects. And so then when the students are come on board, they can actually kind of manage that with each of their students and understand that each one of those project components filters into this one integrated project as well. So that's great. Thank you so much.
Sounds good.
Like one of the things I wanted to add on is I feel like the project itself is a learning process, not just about technical. It's also about working with others in the open source community and how you can work together better. And even though there were some challenges with communication, I think it's a great experience to learn about, you know, um, just the community in general.
Yes, I totally agree. I think you'll learn that. I think it's we have to work really closely with the mentors much earlier on, and then actually and let you all know these are the goals. I mean, let them know that it's about learning, it's about collaboration, it's about contributing to trying to create a solution to a problem, and really the learning part is really key because we don't know all the pieces to the problems. We don't know all the pieces to the solution. This is a learning process for Peace Corps too, right? Particularly the main stakeholders. So they were really impressed. Like I said, this is the first year that we've used Slack, and they were really, really happy with the Slack communications, just to have that access to everyone. The email worked fine for a bit, but you can get lost in email threads if you're not using a client that can help you manage that. But this having the channels, but then having a very general channel and general discussion, they were really, really happy about that, that they can contribute and kind of follow along, keep up. I totally agree. I think it's the open source is so, to me, I light up because it really is about collaboration being in this developing software world for a long time, having to work in such a silo and licensing, which is not a bad thing, but it's just why would we do that when we have such fellow developers that can come out and chime in at any time? So it's been really exciting for me. I don't know about everyone else, but I know it's been really exciting for me.
It is.
Yeah. Maida, you just did an amazing job. Thank you so much. Your work is amazing, and I'm glad that you're continuing because I know the Peace Corps really is looking forward to this as well. So they've been kind of promoting within and having that. So hopefully working closely with Julia to get it up on the server so they can get their hands on it. That's going to be key for them too. And then they can give you feedback on things. And then we've been trying to help them for the past couple of years to kind of build out their requirements as well, what exactly they want to see. But again, this is new for them too, and so, but they're really excited about the product. So,
Yeah, sure.
great job. Thank you. Congratulations as well.
Thank you.
And you too, Natu and Angel. Excellent work, excellent guidance and mentoring. Congratulations on your students and your project. So, thank you both so much.
Glad to be part of it. I also had one more feedback. It helped having three mentors here, like, because at least I was not available for half of it, so it was good to know that Angel and Irish is there. So having multiple mentors helps.
That's our goal. To be honest, we want to have a project manager. It'd be great to have a technical project manager as well. And then one primary technical and one secondary. So we want to have at least two, but we try to go for three because we know that people's life happens, school happens, jobs and work and all of that stuff. So that really is Sisters' goal. And then we want to try to bring in some junior mentors as well to kind of shadow the more established and experienced mentors also. So. Great.
Yeah. I would actually like just to say I was actually particularly impressed with how I was handling when the communication issues arise because we just continuously work hard and when we scope out the additional functionality or scope that were missing previously, we just went for it right after it was defined and then keep on implementing it. And then after GSoC, she's gonna continuously working on the project, which is really good because this program is about bringing new into the open source community, right? It's about learning as someone enjoys the project, and I was actually really impressed by the way she was handling everything, and trying to narrow down exactly what is needed so she can continue contributing.
Yeah, I know. I was reviewing some of the just the conversation and the back and forth and a lot of the questions that were asked. And those questions, I think, we want to be inviting for people to not know and ask those questions. And because they're asking questions doesn't mean that they're, not getting it. It's just meaning they want to be very specific in addressing the problem and approach. That's the whole point about open source, collaboration. It is such a big key. And when you're collaborating with each other, you're getting different perspectives, and then you're narrowing down how to find the best solution and most effective way. So I totally agree.
Definitely. So it's really a good job, like for the whole summer. I really appreciate her work.
Oh, good. We're glad. I'm so glad too. Mentors get a lot out of this as well. So I'm so happy. You three did an amazing job. Great work on the demo. So I can't wait to see it up. Where all of the projects are like working with Julia right now and trying to get all their projects up on. Because having it in front of Peace Corps, its staff and then administrators and volunteers, that's going to seriously make a difference. And it helps advocate for the work that we're doing as well. So thank you all. Thank you. Great job.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.